Welcome back everyone, I'm Kate Plays Games, this is EVE Online, and today we're going to answer one simple question. Can a brand new character complete the Sisters of Eve Epic Arc on the very first day in the game? You see before you a destroyer. This was given to me by the Soldier of Fortune career agent. This is a brand new character. This is at the end of the very first day. I have done the introductory tutorial and all 5 career agents. These ships were given to me by the career agents. All these blueprints and all this junk was either found by me in the wreckage of enemies I fought in the career agent arcs, or they were given to me as rewards by the agents or from the Air Career program. This is the Air Career program. It is split into the 4 different careers, which kind of mirrors the 5 different career agents. There's 5 career agents because the industrialist one has been split into 2 for some unknown reason. And the way this works, you just click on each career and you see there are lots of tasks. You can't see this at the top because unless it's in full screen, it cuts things off because it's CCP and they can't code properly. As you see, it doesn't scale properly when you change the size of the window. But anyway, this task, you enter 1 combat site, you get paid 25,000 ISK and 10 career points. This one is do all of the missions in the career agent, and each one of them pays you career points and other things and money. What are career points? If you have a look down here at the bottom of this tracker, I shall mouse over it. This is the overall progress. There are 4,000 career points on offer, 1,000 in each of the 4 careers. When you hit certain thresholds, you're rewarded with a lot of skill points. As we see, when you hit 750 career points, you get 50,000 skill points. If you are an Omega paid account, you get twice that, you get 100,000. Then at 1500 CP, you get 75,000. That's not 25,000 on top of your 50,000, that's another 75,000, which again is double if you're Omega. Now, just by the dint of me having run all 5 career agents, I actually have hit the first threshold. I have 840 out of 3,000 overall career points. Now, I did say there's 4,000 career points on offer. There are. The rewards kind of stop after 3,000. After that, all you're doing it for is the individual rewards of each task. So you can quite easily get all the maximum skill points. As I said, all I've done is run the 5 career agents and I've earned the first reward. And that gave me 50,000 skill points, which was fantastic. Something else which gave me skill points, if you go to opportunities and Air Daily Goals, each day you get 5 tasks. If you complete 2 of them, you get 10,000 skill points. And they're all quite easy. This one here, complete 3 Stargate jumps, is always available every day. So if you're in high security space, you'll do that without even thinking. Easy. All the others are really easy. Mine 2,000 units of ore. Not 2,000 cubic meters, just 2,000 units. Scan 5 signatures to 100%. Destroy 25 non-capsuleers. There's other ones like earn 50 loyalty points, make 1 item. It's all really easy stuff. So when I was doing the career agents, I did 2 of these. I think I actually did 3 or 4 of them. And that got me 10,000 skill points. So that gave us 60,000 skill points. Skills in EVE Online train automatically, and it takes a certain amount of time to hit each skill level. As we see, I have Spaceship Command level 3, that's the white dots. The next grey one is the next one which is available to me, and it will take 1 day, 16 hours, 4 minutes in real time to train that skill. But I had 60,000 skill points to play with, because if you look in attributes, it says training time modifier 1 times. I do wish that they actually had the amount of skill points you needed for each one. Each skill needs a different number of skill points per level. And if you have unallocated skill points, you can either apply them to your entire training queue or right-click any skill and select Add Skill Points and type in how many skill points you wish to allocate. And that's a way of skipping ahead in your training and training up lots of things really fast. Now, I had to think pretty hard about which skills to run. I've made a note detailing the 2 bosses of the Epic Arc. The first one is this guy, Kristan Parthus. He's a battle cruiser. He does EM and thermal damage. His resistances are not great. He doesn't do all that much damage. It doesn't take much damage to kill him. The main problem with Kristan Parthus is that he has a energy drainer, which will drain all the capacitor energy out of your ship, turn off all of your modules which require a capacitor to run. And then if you need them to run for, say, firing your weapons or running your repair modules, you have a very bad day. So I wanted to create a fit which would be able to fight at outside 25 kilometers to keep this guy at arm's length. And the other boss is Dagan. This guy fires kinetic and explosive, and he has gigantic resistances. This guy tanks like an absolute beast. If you're firing nothing but EM, you'll need something around 150 DPS to kill him. If you're only firing explosive, because that's his lowest resist, you can get away with like 130. But rule of thumb, I always say 150 DPS. So I had to think about which skills I wanted. If we right-click our ship and show info on the destroyer, per level of the Caldari destroyer skill, we get 10% bonus to small hybrid turret tracking speed and small hybrid turret optimal range. That's only range and tracking, so increasing that skill would not have given us any more damage. But a nice roll bonus of this ship is that it does have a 50% flat bonus to the optimal range of your weapon, so this should help us with Kristan Parthus. Before we take a look at the rest of the fit, let's take a look at the skills we've trained. If you go to your character sheet and click History in the Skills tab, here are all the skills I allocated skill points to. As we see, skill points applied. And Shield Operation looks like I actually trained that one naturally over time. So we have Surgical Strike level 2. If we show info, Surgical Strike gives you 3% bonus per skill level to the damage of all kinds of weapon turrets. So we've got that to level 2. Small Hybrid Turret level 3, which is 5% bonus to small hybrid turret damage. So level 3 is 15% more damage on that, so that's nice. Shield Operation, not quite sure why I trained that. Ah yeah, Shield Operation 1 unlocks shield boosters. Rapid Firing level 3, 4% bonus per skill level to weapon turret rate of fire, so again that's another 12%. Energy Grid upgrades level 2 to unlock cap rechargers and shield flux coils and cap batteries and all the good capacitor and energy stuff like power diagnostics and reactor controls. Caldari Frigate level 3, and I needed level 3 to unlock Caldari Destroyer, so we had to get this to level 3 no matter what. We're not actually getting any bonuses for it on our Destroyer, but we needed to do it to get the Destroyer, and Caldari Destroyer level 1 just to open up the ability to actually fly the ship we were given by the agent. So damage, shield, energy upgrades, and then unlocking the ship. I had to think very carefully about how to spend these 60,000 skill points, and that is how I spent them. Let's have a look at the fit. We'll simulate it. In the high power slots we have 7 125mm compressed coil gun 1s. If we have a look at the info and attributes tab, then find the meta level. This is the numeric quality of the weapon. It runs from meta level 0 up to like 18, I believe. Meta level 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4 are Tech 1. Meta level 5, and only meta level 5, is Tech 2. Meta level 6 plus is your faction, dead space officer and other exotic jazz like that. So these are meta level 3. As I said, Tech 1 goes from meta level 0 to meta level 4, with the prototype Gauss being the meta level 4 variant. Where's meta level? Yeah, meta level 4. But the issue with 125mm Gauss guns is that they're quite expensive, at nearly 700,000 each, and I needed to buy 7 of them. But the compressed coil gun 1s are only 49,000 each, much cheaper to buy and not all that worse off in terms of damage and range. So we've got 7 of those. I've loaded these with Antimatter Charge S. Antimatter is the short range high damage ammo. Range bonus minus 50%, does 12 damage each, which is then multiplied by your weapon damage. Swing my mouse over, each of these weapons is doing 18 thermal and 25 kinetic per hit. Mid power slots, our tank is going to be mostly passive, with a restrained shield extender which adds raw shield hit points. And the way that shield regeneration works is that your shields go from 0 to maximum over a set length of time. As we see, we have 593 seconds to go from 0 shield to full shield. And that is the same whether or not we have this medium shield extender fitted. So if we do not have this fitted, we have 990 hit points, which go from 0 to 990 over the course of 593 seconds. And when you do the math, it works out as 4 hit points a second is automatically repaired by the shields. When you add a shield extender, you go up to 1980 shield, but the time to go from 0 to maximum remains the same at 593. So now when you do the math, it works out as 8 hit points a second. So we have effectively doubled the automatic shield repairing of this ship, and we've given it more than double the hit points for the enemy to chew through at the same time. So shield extenders are really rather nice. Something else for the shield and another mid-power slot is an enduring multi-spectrum shield hardener, which increases all 4 resistances by 29% on the shield. So the resistances are not bad. 48, 59, 58, 65. That will slow down the rate at which the enemy are chewing through the hit points, and will give us plenty of time to bring our 7 guns to bear and whittle them down, hopefully down to the point where 8 hit points a second is enough to keep up with whoever's still alive. And the last mid-power slot is a 1 meganewton enduring afterburner, simply to get us moving. 532 meters a second isn't the fastest, but it's fast enough. We're using railguns, which are medium long range. I mean, with antimatter, it's not all that long range. 9,000 meters optimal range, 15 kilometers fall off. At your optimal range, you have the highest chance to hit. At your fall off range, it's around about 50% base chance to hit, which can be positively or negatively modified by your turret tracking, using the keep it range button to keep yourself lined up with the target, slowing the target down, all other kinds of things. Low power slots, simply 2 compact magnetic field stabilizers, which increase our damage by 8% each and increases the rate of fire by 9.5% each. Now, these are stacking penalised, so the first one will work at 100% effectiveness, so you will get these stats, and the second one will be reduced to only 87% effectiveness, but that's fine. 87% of 9.5 and 8%, that's still fine by me. Still plenty damage. In the rig slots, I have an ancillary current router, which gives us a little bit more power grid, so we can actually fit all this. And we have a thermal shield reinforcer and an EM shield reinforcer, just to push up the resistances a bit more. I could have not used the reinforcers and done something like purgers, and what purgers do, these dramatically reduce the length of time it takes to go from 0 shield to full, which obviously increases your hit points per second. So it goes from 8 to 13. 13 is pretty good, because if we look at a small shield booster, this will give you 26 hit points every 2 seconds, so about 13. So if we'd done 2 purgers on this, then it would have the same effect as having a small shield booster on all the time. But shield boosters require capacitor, and automatic shield regeneration does not. So we could have done that, or we could have done 2 extenders to give ourselves even more raw hit points. Goes up to 2600, and that would push up the automatic regen to 11 as well. But I thought I'd rather just have the EM and thermal reinforcers to slow down the incoming damage a little bit. So the offense is only 137 DPS. That's not quite enough to kill Dagan, and we can't really squeeze any more damage out of it. However, we can use Caldari Navy antimatter. Faction ammunition like this gives you a direct, simple 15% buff to your damage. So the damage then goes up to 157. So when we're fighting the final boss, we'll switch over to this Caldari Navy antimatter, and that'll give us enough damage to kill him. When we're fighting Kristan Parthus, I have plumped for Federation Navy Iridium Charge. And when we mouse over that, optimal range 23, fall-off range 28. It's good, but it's not quite safe enough. As I said, Kristan Parthus's energy neutralization goes out to 25 kilometers. Even though our fall-off range is 28, I'd rather keep him at like 30 kilometers just to make sure I'm way outside his energy neutralization range. If I was to use this ammunition, I'd have to try and keep him at range like 27, and then we're quite close to the only 50% of your shots hit. As we see, the offense is only 91.9 DPS, so I'd rather extend the range. And the way I'm going to do that during that mission is I'm going to take off the shield hardener, and I'm going to put on a tracking computer. Tracking computers increase the tracking and the optimal range and your fall off, and they can be scripted or specialized. When you put an optimal range script in it, it loses the tracking bonus, but it doubles up the fall off and optimal range bonus to 24 and 12 respectively. And now when we mouse over the weapons, the range is between 25 and 32. Lovely. So then we can keep Kristan Parthus at something like 29 or 30 kilometers and have a better chance to hit and actually land more of our 90 DPS. And the capacitor has changed because different railgun ammunition requires different amounts of capacitor to fire. So we can run everything on the ship if we use the iridium, even if we're using the shield hardener, still just about cap stable, and not stable when we use antimatter. But that's okay. When we're fighting Dagan, I can just micromanage, turn off the shield hardener if we think we don't need to have higher resistances anymore, or if we've established a good orbit, I can turn off the afterburner and then it's stable. So it's not going to be an issue. So that's how we're going to go with this fit. I think this is going to be good enough. Two other things we got from the Air Career program are these expert systems. What expert systems are is a collection of skills. This will give us all these skills, all these skill levels for 3 days. It's effectively a skill rental. Little grey dots are skills we don't have. Big grey squares are skills we have but do not have trained. Yellow dots are ones which are unavailable usually to free-to-play players. A diagonal white box means it's a skill level we have semi-trained, and a big white box is a skill level we have trained. So we have control burst level 2, but if we take this expert system, it'll bump it up to level 3 for 3 days. Same with drones, and that will increase our sharpshooter, which is our range, surgical strike, which is damage, trajectory analysis, which is fall off, the rapid firing and small hybrid turret would stay the same, but if we need a little bit more damage, we can pop one of these. We have the Soldier of Fortune 1, which is the PvP agent, and the Enforcer 1, player versus environment agent. And just scroll down, more repair systems, Caldari Destroyer level 3. That would give us 2 more levels, which will give us more tracking speed and optimal range, so that might be good for us. Control burst will reduce the capacitor need of our hybrid weapons. Motion prediction is tracking, sharpshooter's range, there's surgical strike again. So if we are struggling towards the end of the arc, we'll keep these with us and we can right click and consume them. And then for 3 days, we get all these extra skills. So I think that's how we're going to do this arc. So let's stop yabbering on and actually find out how to do the arc. You go to the agency, agents and missions, Epic Arcs card, and this one is available. All the rest are unavailable because they're locked behind standings. And we need to go and speak to this person who's 17 jumps away. Now I'm not going to show you much of the Epic Arc. I'm just going to jump pretty much to the bosses. I'm going to spend all day doing this. This is a brand new character who has a total of 450,290 skill points and only barely scraped together enough damage to complete the Epic Arc. So it's going to take me all day to do this. There is one more mission which might be a little bit difficult, but maybe not. It requires you to fit and use a civilian relic analyzer to hack a canister, but we've got 3 mid-power slots and we'll just remove the shield hardener and put the relic analyzer on there. There is another mission which requires you to have 150 cubic meters of cargo. This is a destroyer that comes with 425 and we've only got a tiny little bit of ammunition, so that's not going to be an issue. So I think the next time you see me, I will be ready to fight Kristan Parthus. So I'll see you then. Right, we're a few hours in, I'm having a lovely time, it's all been easy. This is the first of the diverging paths. You have a choice of tracking the Queen or Bag of Blood. I usually do Bag of Blood because it's slightly quicker and slightly easier. One other thing I'm going to talk about is that I've slightly changed the fit. I decided very early on to take off the Enduring Multispectrum Shield Hardener. Because we do have the EM and thermal resistance rigs, I don't really need any more resistances. I've gone for the tracking computer with the range script. And as you can see in cargo, I've been using Thorium Charge S, because if I simulate the ship, this still gives us 100 DPS and it pushes the range out to 18 to 25. So I've been keeping things at range at like 22, 23 kilometers. Nothing's even got close enough to even scratch my shield. And I could even use antimatter charge now, because even though antimatter does use the highest amount of cap, due to the fact that the tracking computer uses less cap than the shield hardener, it's cap stable with antimatter. But then the range falls to 11 to 17 and you just don't need 137 DPS. I've basically been just one or two shotting everything in the whole arc all the way so far. I'm going to go off and do Bag of Blood, and then I'll bring you back when we're ready to fight Kristan Parthus. And a couple of hours later, here we are, ready to take on Kristan Parthus. We're almost at the end of the Epic Arc now, so let's accept. There's no point discussing the tactics. We already know what the tactics are. We discussed them at the start. So we group the weapons, go over to Federation Navy Iridium, turn on the tracking computer with the range script, optimal range 25, fall off 32, so we want to keep him somewhere around 29, so we'll right click the keep it range, set it to 29 kilometers, and there we go. Easy peasy. He does have some escorts, but I'm not sure if I'm going to bother clearing out the escorts, so let's just keep him at range, turn on the afterburner, we'll just burn away. His escorts have noticed and aggressed us. He has not. This is good. Hopefully we'll be able to sneak out of his... Nope. There's his energy neutralizer. But once we get outside of 25 kilometers, this should disappear. And he will stop draining our capacitor. Because we need our capacitor to fire our weapons. Because these are hybrid guns. And hybrid guns actually require a capacitor. Right, let's just stop shooting at him. And we'll just take out all of his attendants as well. We'll just blitz them, get them off the board. Just before they get too close. Because I do have to remember, I do only have this passive tank. You do not have any other tank backing up our ship. So we're reliant on the natural regeneration rate of the shield. This guy is firing EM and thermal, which are our lowest shield resistances at 30 and 44. Well, thermal's not too bad. The way that the shield works is that it actually repairs more per second until it gets to about 32%, and then it slows down. So if your shield keeps going down, it's not all that bad. It's if it goes below 32%. That's when you need to worry, because that's when it's below your fastest peak regen rate. At the minute, we seem to be doing fine. Still got 1300 hit points remaining for him to chew through. We're chewing through his armor just fine. That's good. And the rest of his attendants are just chilling out over there. They're not really doing anything, which is great for me. I'm killing their boss and they don't even care. Yeah, we're missing a few shots. Because we're quite close to our fall-off range. I just wanted to make sure it was outside 25 kilometers, which is his energy drain range. But we're fine, we're just grinding him down. If you need to, you can just change it to 28 and click keep it range and we'll just approach. Okay, now we're at 28 and then we'll just hold this range. Moved a little bit closer, so we should hit him a little bit better. It's not just hitting him, I mean missing's a bad thing, but the hit quality increases as your accuracy goes up. Glances off and grazes do less than your listed damage. Hits do about... They do your normal damage, and penetrates and smashes do above your listed damage. Wrecks are like a 1% chance for a wreck, and a wrecking shot does triple damage. And this is directly linked to your accuracy, so if you can get your accuracy up, you'll get a lot more penetrates and smashes and hits, which means you're actually doing above your listed damage. Some of our shots are missing, not a huge fan of that. Could try keeping it range 27, get another kilometre closer to him, so we're closer to our optimal range of 25. Yeah, as soon as we did that, 3 smashes. That's a low shield warning. I did put that on around 25% shield, but Kristan Parthus is about to die. He's the only thing shooting at us, so as soon as he dies, like so, we can get out of here. Right, well, that worked fine.
Warp drive active.
Here he is. Got him on board. Some missions, the mission item will just spawn in your cargo, and other times it will spawn in a cargo container. This has been changed multiple times. Different missions teleport the item on board your ship and other ones don't. There was a problem with unscrupulous players would hunt you down with probes, swoop in, steal the thing from the cargo container and then ransom it back to you. This still happens because not every mission teleports the item on board.
Docking request accepted.
But the developers thought it was a little bit unfair, so some missions like this one, it does actually teleport the item on board your ship. So you can complete that mission. And now this is where you get to choose which one of the 4 main empires you want to work with. Now I'm going to choose Caldari because this is a Caldari character. And if you look at his Caldari state standings, it is 0.73. When you get to 1.0, that will unlock every level 2 agent for every corporation which is a member of the Caldari state. And that, if you click on Member Corps, is quite a lot. All the NPC corporations, they all have agents. So this, if you get this to 1.0, will open up all level 2 agents for the entire Caldari state, and we can skip level 1 missions altogether. Caldari state is 0.73 because we did the 5 career agents, and this is them. That you get this for doing the final mission for each of them, between 0.14 and 0.15 each, so we've been getting a lot from that. Amar Empire has also gone up because Amar are friendly with Caldari state. If you look in their standings tab, Caldari state likes Amar Empire 5.0 and Amar Empire like them back in return. So every time you increase Caldari state, you will get an increase in Amar Empire. That works in reverse with the Galanti Federation because they hate each other. Both of them are at -5, so every time Caldari state goes up, Galanti Federation goes down. But as you see, and they don't like Minmatar Republic. Have we got any Minmatar Republic? No, we've got none. Okay, apparently Caldari state just don't care about the Minmatar. Like, at all. Yeah, it's 0,0,0,0. So they don't care about each other. So you will get no derived gains or losses. So that's another reason why you want to do the Sisters of Eve Epic Arc. A, because it's fun. B, because you get about 15 million ISK in total from doing it. And C, the most important thing, big fat standings rise. And the standings rise at the end comes with no derived gains or losses. So we will not gain anything else with the Amar Empire, but we will not lose anything with Galanti Federation. We'll just get a massive rise to Caldari state. So I'm going to choose the Caldari commander, accept this choice. Now we have to go and speak to this guy. Before we speak to the agent, we can have a look at the Air Career Program, because we've been earning points and earning lots of money. As you see, all these unclaimed rewards are things which we have been granted since we began this adventure. Complete 20 Epic Arc missions. Complete one level 1 security agent mission. Visit a high-sec system in 5 different regions. Make 50 Stargate jumps. Destroy 100 enemy ships. Kill 75 enemies using a destroyer. So we've got all these things to claim, so we'll just claim them all. We haven't quite got enough points. We had something like 800 something points. We've got 1200 now. We're not quite at 1500. 300 points is quite a lot. There are some things you can do to quickly get points. Bounties. Earn 5 million in bounty. We've made 1.2 million. But there are, of course, combat anomalies which just spawn randomly. If you just have a look at the probe scanner, there's some anomalies here. I wouldn't do the Forsaken Hideaway or any of these event sites. I'm recording this during an event, but the Blood Refuge you could probably run on a destroyer. So if we'd taken the time to run all these sites in every system I visited, because the Epic Arc takes you across all 4 empires, I've been doing a lot of warp jumping, then you would earn an awful lot of points. A, you would get the the bounty one, because you would easily rack up 5 million bounty. You'd get combat sites. Enter 15 shouldn't be too difficult. 25, maybe, possibly. Destroy 300 enemy ships. We're at 230, so finding another 70 ships to kill during this entire adventure wouldn't be too difficult anyway. So that'd be 40 more career points for that, 50 more for that. There's 90 right there. We only need 300 more. There's 90 there. 25 combat sites would be what? 50, 25, 10, another 85 right there. I mean, not too difficult. And there is something I believe in the market. What's this combat one? Now, there's another combat site one there. Enter 5 combat sites, 15, 20, and 30. So that's another 65 CP right there. I mean, it ain't difficult to do this. There's spend $1 million on the market. There is another one which is, yeah, here we go. The other market one, industrialist. Earn $1 million ISK on the market. So all we would have to do is to go back to where we came from and sell all the spare ships, and you'd easily get that. So that would give us what, 20, 45, another 95 career points. So you could quite easily get up to the next threshold just by doing that, running combat sites and selling stuff, and you'd easily get to the 1500 level. We only need another 300. And that would give us another 75,000 skill points to spend on various skills to get our damage up even higher for this. And some of the things that we were just granted when we accepted all these rewards were skill books. We'll just inject them all to despawn the skill book and put them on our character sheet at level 0, ready for training. And we have these boosters which do even more temporary things than the expert systems do. Minus 10% ship inertia, makes your ship agility better so you can corner faster. Base duration 1 hour. Hard shell booster, 5% armor repair, 5% shield boost, duration 30 minutes. We don't have any of those, so it's not too good for us. This one, 5% increased mining laser yield, really not for us. Minus 6% capacitor recharge time, not an issue for us. But this one actually does require the biology skill, so if you wanted to use that, if you had a ship which used the shield booster, you'd take the booster one, the shield booster one, and this capacitor one, so you could run your shield booster for longer. But you would have to train biology skill level 1. It wouldn't take very long. And if you'd done the air career program, you would have 75,000 skill points to spend on it. Let's talk to the agent, our man Dagan. Now we actually have to kill Dagan. It's in this system, so let's accept and go and kill him.
Warp drive active.
I'm going to keep our faction Iridium. You will notice I have Federation Navy Iridium and Caldari Navy Antimatter. There is a Caldari Navy Iridium. It does exactly the same thing as Federation Navy. It's just spawns in Caldari space, and the Federation one is in Galanti space. And based on the variances of the market, sometimes it's more expensive in one than the other. And where I built this ship, Federation Navy Iridium was cheaper than Caldari Navy, and the opposite is true for the Caldari Navy stuff. Caldari Navy Antimatter was cheaper than the Federation stuff. That's the only reason why I bought them, the different ones. It's taken a little bit of time to kill the escorts, but it's not too bad. There's only 3 of them. So we'll just grind them down. This red laser that Dagan is firing at us is a target painter. This makes our ship appear larger on scopes, so it takes a little bit more damage. Okay, just Dagan to go. Let's reload to Caldari Navy Antimatter. I'm going to turn off the tracking computer, and I'm going to remove the script. So now it's going to do tracking speed and everything else as well. And I'm going to orbit him at 10 kilometers. Because our optimal range is 9,956, and I'm calling that 10k, so here we go. Now we just have to hope that our speed is enough to make him miss us, and that we get lots of penetrates and smashes on him. Let's just move that image box, just so we can read it a bit clearer. There we go. Okay, seeing lots of penetrates and smashes. This looks pretty good. Dagan misses you completely. That's what we want to see. Or Dagan grazes or glances off, that's also what we want to see. Misses us completely. We're doing penetrates and smashes and hits on him. He's doing glances, and there was a hit from him. And he missed us again. Okay, this looks like quite a good range. We're right on our optimal range. So that's about as good as our accuracy is gonna get. It would be better if we did keep it range, but then it would make us easier to hit by him. That's why I'm orbiting. Orbiting at speed, so the speed makes a miss as well. Okay, I think we're good. Now we just have to hope I bought enough ammunition, because this guy takes a long time to grind down. He will try to repair himself, as we saw. His shield just went up just then. So we'll just orbit him at our optimal range. Hope we don't run out of ammo. Keep a close eye on our shield. Our shield seems to be fine. Keep an eye on the hit quality of both incoming damage and outgoing damage. I mean, I'm seeing lots of smashes and penetrations in blue coming from us to him. A couple of glances now and then, but most of what I'm seeing is hits, penetrates and smashes. This is good. That means we're actually doing more than a 157 DPS, is it we're doing? Yeah, 157.5. Now, Dagan is taking a little sliver of armour damage, even though he's still got shields, because that's what happens. When your shield goes below 25%, there is a chance for the damage to go straight through the shield and onto the armour. And that's what happened there. This will happen with us as well. There is a shield skill you can train which reduces that. Whether or not that's a good thing has been highly debated for many, many years. Because maybe when you're at low shield and you've got a passive shield tank like we have, you may want some of the damage to pass through your shield and take a little nibble of your armour, because then that gives your shield a little couple of seconds to repair itself before the next shot comes in. Otherwise, if it was absorbing all the damage, then it would continue to go down until it's all gone, and then you really are in trouble.
Has run out of charges.
Oh, come on, man. Really? We're reloading when he's got like 35% of his hull left. Well, at least hybrid weapons reload in 5 seconds. That was... oh, you managed to get a little repair cycle off. That's annoying. But it looks like the grind is over. Hooray, we've killed him. Right, let's go and get him. He actually spawns in a cargo can. As I said, some mission objects teleport on your ship and other ones spawn in a cargo can. This is one of the ones that spawns in a cargo can. So if someone else was here, they could swoop in, steal the body from the cargo, and then ransom it, which is completely legal. This is EVE Online. There he is. You're coming with me, my friend. Let's go and complete this arc.
Warp drive active.
Shield never really went below 75%. Outstanding. We're a relatively small ship compared to his battle cruiser, at least. We're not the fastest thing, only 532 meters a second, but it was fast enough to make him miss at the range we chose. So everything was great. Complete that mission. Request the final mission of the arc. You take Dagan, you hand them over, and you get paid 1 million ISK and a big fat whack of standings.
Warp drive active.
And apparently we've got another reward to claim, but I think it's just it's just reminding us that if we went to a paid account, we would get another 50,000 skill points instantly, because it is retroactive. So even if I went all the way to 3,000 and got the maximum, if I then went Omega, I would get 50 and 75 and 125 and the other one as well. We would get all of it applied retroactively.
Warp drive active.
Here we are. Representatives from each of the 4 factions are here. And very soon, a big gigantic drone is going to warp in over here. And all you have to do is to put Dagan in this cargo wreath, and then the drone will spirit him away. And that will be the end of the arc. Never had to use an expert system. There's the gigantic drone hub. Never had to take a booster. Never had to do much of anything at all. And there he goes. Dagan has been taken away. So let's go and hand in the mission and complete the arc.
Warp drive active.
I believe we will get one more reward because completing an epic arc. I believe epic arc 4 out of 5. Yeah, complete an epic arc. We'll get another 50 career points and the defense system skill crate, whatever the hell that is, and lots more money as well. Easy. And complete the mission. We are done. Let's have a look at the change to our standings. There we go. Plus 0.649. Massive uptick. We're at 1.38 Caldari state. Instant access to every level 2 agent of every corporation that belongs to Caldari state. Level 1 missions just don't exist for us. And we've got this. We'll just claim that. That was to complete the epic arc thing. And it just gives us a random skill book. So we'll just inject that as well. Easy. Money-wise, wow, we've actually got 23 million in the bank now. Since I began this character yesterday for me, we have made 37.36 million-esque. We spent 13 million of it on this ship and the fittings and some other things as well when I was doing the career agents. But yeah, that's a good way to start EVE Online. Instant access to level 2 missions. A ship which can run level 2 missions, not easily, but it can. And 60,000 free skill points. And if we just ran some combat sites, we'd easily rack up all the combat site rewards and the kill everything rewards and the earn bounties rewards. And we could probably get enough free skill points to buy the Caldari Cruiser skill book. Go all skills. Caldari Cruiser requires Caldari Destroyer level 3. So we need to do Caldari Destroyer level 2, then level 3, and then level 1 Caldari Cruiser. And then we could fly any of the cruisers. Haven't quite got enough money to buy a cruiser. Actually, no, we do. We've got enough money for a cruiser quite easily. So that's a really good way to start the game. And the question has been answered. Can you complete the Sisters of Eve epic arc on the very first day of your game? Yes, you can. Well, at least you can as a Caldari. Come back next time and we'll do one of the other 4 races. Until then, do look after yourself and I'll speak to you again soon.